Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as well as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic crossword as always, and I also pulled an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So, I'll do that now. Okay. We have 8, so that's your 8th house, which for you guys is Virgo, and that represents intimacy, investments, death, rebirth. We are going to have Venus move there, and then eventually at the very end of the month, Mars will move into that sign too. Speaking of Virgo, we actually have Virgo here too, so you can definitely be focusing on those areas of life. And we have Pluto. So Pluto is actually in your 12th house, which is Capricorn. So could be a lot going on in the world as well. So with that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. And speaking of your inner world in the main situation position, we have the High Priestess. So usually I view this as a Pisces energy or 12th house energy. So we were just saying, we have Pluto in your 12th house. So this could just be saying that you guys might be relying heavily on your intuition, maybe a bit withdrawn, not necessarily speaking too much, right? Maybe not going out in public very much, but it seems like you're definitely reviewing something, possibly even looking at your belief system. That's what I'm seeing there. All right, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. So for this to come up in reverse just kind of emphasizes that point, which is what I was feeling. In the upright, this would say that you're ready to take action, you're out there in the world, right? But with this in reverse, I feel like this is just emphasizing that you're a bit withdrawn right now. You're not necessarily ready to take action on the situation. Could just be still trying to observe the environment and see when the timing would be right to make a move. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, and the Fool. So, of course, most of July we will be in Cancer season, so could just be pointing to that. But to see these two energies come out, they're a huge contrast from the High Priestess energy and, like I said, the Page of Wands in reverse, which points to not really being out there, not really taking action. These two energies are quite the opposite. So it could just be saying that as Cancer season moves along, you might actually be feeling a nudge from the universe to actually put yourselves back out there. Which would make sense in a way too. I mean, Cancer energy for you guys is your 6th house of work, daily routines, which is also, of course, a Virgo type of energy. So could just have you guys actually really focusing heavily on work and getting yourselves back out there, starting new routines. All right. In the past position, we have the Ace of Swords. So this usually represents sudden insights that might come through. Possibly it was during you guys during eclipse season for you guys. Excuse me. Mercury is still retrograde, in case you couldn't notice. But also, I will say, for those of you who watch this physically in July, there will be a full moon in your 12th house too of Capricorn, so that could bring some things to light too. So that could be what this is pointing to. But yeah, either way, it looks like you guys might have gotten some insight, and it could just be one of those things where now you're in that High Priestess energy because you're integrating that information and trying to figure out what to do with that information. All right, in the present position, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, to me, this is another indicator that you just seem to be withdrawn from, interacting with people a lot, from society, possibly from partnerships as well. Yeah, I mean, it just definitely seems to be a repeat theme there where you just seem to be a bit withdrawn currently. Not even necessarily seeing it as like a bad thing, but just definitely seems to be a prevalent energy you guys are going through. All right, in the near future position, we have Temperance. So this is actually Sagittarius energy, and for you guys, that's your 11th house. That's the house you guys are natural rulers of too, so it could just be saying that in the near future, you'll definitely be putting yourself out there, right? Maybe dipping your toes in the water, quite literally, like we see in the artwork there. Maybe getting back out, interacting with your friends again, maybe socializing a bit more. Could even just be saying that, some influence behind the scenes might get you guys back out there, or maybe you have a friend reach out and you could bounce your ideas off of them, and that might help draw you out a little bit as well. But definitely looks like an energy of balance. So not only that, could just be saying that you might find that balance between, having that introspective time where you could withdraw a little bit and just, feel through your intuition, but also getting out and taking action. So it could just be saying that you might find that balance that works for you this month too, which is a good thing. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this makes me think of what I was saying there when we saw that Chariot energy, and of course, given that we saw Virgo and the 8th house come out for you, which are both the Virgo energies, and this could just be saying that, you guys might really be getting yourselves back into work. Now, usually what I see with this card is more of an entrepreneurial type thing too, which is to say, he's quite literally making his own money. So part of that could be why you guys might be a bit withdrawn lately too, because maybe you just started your own business that you've been working from home on. So, maybe you haven't had much time to get out into the world because you've just been busy with that. That's certainly a possibility. But yeah, for others of you, it just looks like this is overall a theme of self-improvement, which could be, again, what that withdrawal is currently about too. All right, in the environment position, we have the Emperor. So this is actually the major arcana card for Aries, and for you guys, Aries is your 3rd house communication. And given that Aries is ruled by Mars, I feel inclined to point out that, of course, we have Mars moving through Leo too, which is your opposite sign. So this could just be around partnerships. Maybe you might feel like you're if you are in a romantic relationship, or even just partnerships in general, you might feel like the other people are being a bit pushy right now, especially if you're in that withdrawn mood, right, where you're not really trying to be out and about. You might feel like people are kind of trying to push you out there. And this could just be maybe you're realizing too that you just have a feeling that if you do speak out about what you need to say, if this is more representing your energy, you might feel like it might be misconstrued. So you might just be like, you know what, let me just not even bother for the time being. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. But again, I do feel a similar vibe here to what I was saying with the Chariot and the Fool, which is to say, it feels like your environment is kind of nudging you out there, even if you're not quite ready yet. And we could see where that could cause a clash, right? All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the King of Cups. So this is actually Scorpio energy. And for you guys, that's your 10th house. But more than anything, this could just be saying you're hoping for that alone time, right? Like, for whatever reason, I don't necessarily see anything negative, quote unquote, that happened that made you want to be in this mode. But it could just be something that you're feeling right now where you just would rather be withdrawn. Well, I do have to say, toward the very end of June, we're going to have and into the first few days of July, too, there's going to be like a T-square between Uranus in Taurus, Saturn in your sign, and Mars in Leo. So actually, that could be part of what it is. That just feeling the intensity of that energy. You guys might feel like, all right, you know what, I need to just take a little time away. So it could just be as simple as that. And of course, for people, if they don't necessarily have the transit hitting them the same way, for example, if you are dealing with a literal Aries, they might not feel it the same way at all. there could be a difficulty in trying to explain to them, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now, you're right. So it could just be a temporary thing. And that could be why the Temperance is in a near future position too, which is to say, yeah, maybe toward the very end of June and into the beginning of July, you might still be feeling the intensity of that transit, but as time moves along, you might feel ready to put yourselves back out there. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Hanged Man and the Six of Pentacles. So interesting blend of energies here, because the Hanged Man, again, is a very Piscean 12th house type vibe to me, just like the High Priestess. And to see that in the outcome position could just be saying that, yeah, for the most part, you will still be taking that time for yourselves, really reflecting on things. But with the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this is emphasizing you guys putting yourselves out there, but a little bit, right? We see he's like giving them some pentacles, but obviously not too many. He has the scale and everything. He's making sure to give just enough. So it could be one of those things where I was talking about the balance with the Temperance, where you're like, okay, I want to just be alone, do my own thing right now, but people in my environment want me to come out, so okay, let me find that, strike a balance between, all right, maybe I'll come out for a couple hours and then go back to doing what I'm doing, so I see it as that type of energy there. All right, and at the bottom of the deck we have Judgment. So this is usually a Scorpio energy to me as well, but usually this represents things coming back around from your past. So I do have to say, maybe for you guys with the retrograde energy and the eclipse energies that we went through recently, there might have been some things that came up from your past, maybe things that were buried from, pretty deep in the past, and you've just still been trying to reflect on that. So that could be why you're, not really jumping out there at every opportunity you see right now. And we do see the angel symbolism there, just like with the temperance. So overall, whatever this is, I feel you guys are gonna, bounce back fine. But like I said, it just feels like you don't necessarily want to be out and about in a sociable type of energy this month. All right, moving on to your oracle card, we have building blocks. There's the artwork, and the number is 28. All right, and when this card came out, it almost came out in a reverse position too. So I'm actually going to read you guys the regular messages and also the protection message that you read normally if the card does come upside down, just in case. So let me read all those. Okay, it says strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. The Oracle's message: you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. So yeah, when I mentioned, focusing on your foundations and, your morals, ethics, could just be saying that that's probably what you've been going through, reevaluating those things, trying to figure out what fits, what doesn't. But hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says when you see the card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones that you already have by building them on foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. So, I didn't get much of a relationship vibe here in general, especially because, like I said, it seems like you guys are a bit withdrawn right now, but hopefully that resonated with you as well. The prosperity message says you have everything you need to turn iron into gold in the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream and remember that you always have more than enough and you always are enough, so abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. So pretty solid message there too, especially if you guys have been getting some intuitive insights, and this could even represent putting that out there in the world because this card in some decks is referred to as alchemy too. So hopefully that resonated. And like I said, since it almost came out in reverse, I'll also read the protection message. It says, now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Perhaps your values have changed and it's time to strengthen your conviction and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you did. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life, far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. So interesting there when it mentioned, renovating, upgrading your consciousness, and maybe think of the high priestess energy we see there. So yeah, it could just be a process that some of you are still in the middle of, and with that judgment energy, that would make sense as well. So hopefully that resonated for some of you too. And finally, we have a Mudra card for you guys. So this is the Mudra you got this month. It's the Chonmukha Mukha Mudra, and the keyword for it is cooperation. All right, and all right, we can't fit everything in the frame here, but if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can, and then I'm going to move it up so we can get the rest. All right, but under benefits, it says calms the mind, ignites feelings of devotion, balances solar and lunar energies in the body, harmonizes apana and prana values, used in yoga therapy to aid cancer treatment and healing of autoimmune diseases. So if that sounds like Mudra you think will be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of it in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.